Scott predicts correctly. 120,000 called by Gilbert. It's a 6 of clubs.
Wow.
Does it. Empties the clip.
This takes a lot of heart right here.
That shove.
And this is not an easy decision for Yo at all.
Ma première fois aux Bahamas, c'était un moment incroyable dans ma carrière. C'était tout simplement un des plus beaux tournois que j'ai joué, 25 000 $ l'entrée, le PSPC. Vous savez qu'aux Bahamas, il y avait le PCA aussi, le tournoi mythique où Elki avait remporté 2 millions de dollars à l'époque. Elki qui venait de StarCraft 2, qui était devenu rapidement le meilleur français au poker, premier pour 2 millions de dollars, le frérot. Et on va peut-être suivre ses traces parce que sur le PCA, je me retrouve au dernier jour du tournoi, en D4, d'un tournoi à 10 000 $, très intense, où il y a environ 1000 participants et où je me retrouve contre certains des tout meilleurs en tournoi, Colonias notamment. Vous allez voir ce qui va se passer sur ce PCA. Est-ce que je peux le gagner? Est-ce que je l'ai gagné? Est-ce que j'ai fait la finale? Vous allez tout savoir dans ce vlog et vous allez voir les coups en détail.
All right, there's our new feature table. 8 players, and what a lineup here. Martirosyan, Ditani, Thero, Colonias, Parr, Gilbert, Sparling, Coleus. Okay, maybe Sparling is someone we don't know that well, but everyone else is legit a superstar.
Yeah, not only that, we're going to have an interesting dynamic because Martirosyan has over doubled the second place in chips.
Call it for tonight, but we're not there yet. So let's just plan on 33 minutes here. A break and then another 90-minute level.
Yeah, you can tell that before we saw his cards, that Yo woke up with something, put his hat down, put his sunglasses on.
Shields up. The last thing you want to do is, you know, go crazy here with ace-queen, and then it's ace-king under the gun, or aces or kings.
Right, and the reason why he doesn't 3-bet the ace-queen suited here is because he didn't want to face an all-in in case he was 4-bet.
Yeah, and Parr with the dominated hand, it's domination rotation now.
He knows his opponent is oftentimes going to take a stab at it here. We are going to see a bet here. Taylor wants to protect against some of the straight draws, specifically the ace-X's that Yo could have here.
Sorry, which player could have 5s and 6s right now?
Well, they could both have 5s and 6s, but I'm saying that we're betting now as Taylor on the turn because that 3 brings in some straight draws that he could get called by, like he does here.
Well, if you have 5s and 6s, you just made it straight. But unfortunately, for Gilbert, that's the relevant information. Pretty clear value bet for Parr.
I can't imagine he's going to find a call here. He doesn't have a good combination to call with. He's showing up to the river with one of his weaker hands, and I don't think he gets to the river here and calls a bet on the turn with many hands that are worse than his ace-queen here.
Yeah, like what are you beating there? King-queen?
That clock. You start getting used to thinking streets ahead. Like sometimes if I'm on the flop and I have extra time, I'm going to use that time because I'm thinking about what happens on certain turns.
I've never made it to I've never been in a shot clock tournament. I didn't even consider that.
Because generally when the shot clocks come out, you're sort of in the money and you're later in the tournament, so these pots
have major decision, and you're like, I'm just going to use the rest of the time. Wow.
Because I know I'm only going to get 30 seconds on the next
Sure,
street,
no one's really presented it like that before. Thanks for sharing that with us. All right, here's one from Twitter for you. Scott, try to answer as best you can. I know it's not... Lots of conditional answers in poker. Hi, and thank you for the broadcast. My question is how much of a poker bankroll a player should have in order to join these kinds of tournaments and high buy-ins? Greetings from Turkey.
You know, maybe something around 50 buy-ins is probably a pretty reasonable number.
I need $500,000 to play at 10K.
Well, then you can sell.
500 times. Wait, how many? 50 times?
50 times.
I don't think I have 50 times whatever.
But honestly,
Well, I don't think I have 50 times 1%.
It could be a little, probably, it's a smaller amount of times for the smaller tournaments because those are easier. Your variance might not be as high.
If I'm playing a $200 tournament, I don't have to have 50 times 200 in my bankroll. Especially if I'm. Also, you're talking about someone that's like has a bankroll. If you're a recreational player and you're going to play once a year,
when you're talking about guidelines to not go broke when you're
top pair for a Guibert. When he's sticking around, calls the 60K bet. Really hoping for a 10.
Colonius has the nut no pair. Makes the absolute nuts with.
Question here I think I know the answer to. I'll ask it at the end of the hand. Let's see what Scott says. I'll let him handle this one. Not much time left on this level, though. Gang. And Colonius is going to fire again.
I don't see Yo folding an ace here for that amount. But he's going to take his whole clock and then call.
Scott predicts correctly. 120,000 called by Gilbert. And we are headed to the river. Nearly 500K in the middle. This is 6 of clubs. Pretty fun run out for top pair.
6 doesn't really change anything. He got called twice on this board. Would not be an easy call for Yo. Wow.
Does it. Empties the clip.
This takes a lot of heart right here.
That shove.
And this is not an easy decision for Yo at all. We talked before about showing up to the river with a certain range of hands. I think Yo actually does have one of his weaker hands here showing up to the river. And that's because when he calls twice, he usually has an ace or better. And this is his worst ace.
Thank you.
He has better aces with better kickers, and his weaker aces made aces up. Like Yo could show up to the river with 4-5, ace-3, ace-6, ace-deuce, ace-10. These would all be better hands to call with, and he does fold.
The bluff works. Colonius gets away with one. It looks like we're going to squeeze in one more hand while we do that.
That's not an easy thing to do when you're going all in for just 2/3 of the size of the pot for your tournament life when you got called twice versus a player, mind you, who is very sticky.
You know, it's landlocked. I don't know how many.
There's not a lot of water hazards there. It's a little easier. Gilbert, King 10 suited. Late position limping strategy being employed.
Yeah, I don't mind having a limping strategy off of, sub 20 bigs, but this one's not going to get through. The reason why you want to have a limping strategy, when you have around a sub 20 big line stack is because you have some type of hands that actually have good playability.
Get out of here. Is this guy serious?
I mean, clearly not. You want hands that have good playability post, but you can't really afford to raise and call a 3-bet off of a sub 20 big blind stack. However, you can limp and call potentially maybe a 3 or 4 big blind open raise after you limp. Wheelhouse is the ability to get to flops with these types of hands that could flop and play really well post. Is important to develop that as a part of your strategy.
Doesn't it somewhat give away the sorts of hands?
Equity, and you're just going to go with it. It still can be profitable, even if your opponent can maybe range you a little better.
That is equity. That's pretty cool.
Remember, we have got 3 tables in play at the moment. Low buy-in mini PCA tournaments every single day of our live coverage. Main event on Sunday, which will have an EPT Monte Carlo package awarded to the winner, and the mini PSPC kicking off on Monday. Details on your screen now as we go to the turn.
Less than 1, and Marozsian obviously feels pretty comfortable that he has the best of it.
All in to call. And that is a fold.
and you're asking, I mean, I know you were there for it because you went, oh, 50 times a buy, and I thought it was 100 times. We said 50. Just write the word Hardigan in chat. Uh-oh.
We've got an all in here.
Yeah, sub 10 bigs. Definitely within range there, but does
Partied in the at the hotel.
The hotel.
Remember the hotel penthouse suite? That's a lot of dinners.
And the years feel longer, not shorter.
That is a lot of meals Maria's bought for me.
King 3 versus King 7. And
Guibert pretty likely to be all in at some point here.
Yeah, has the flush draw. Of course, it's a domination rotation situation with Tapor hitting his 3. Pocket 10s. And Taylor just calls. Ace Trey, Gilbert.
Yeah, I mean, for chips, this is always going to be a shove. And actually, with the power limp in,
oh, this is so mean.
I'm all in.
Shove from Yoviral. The call from Taylor Poor. And the Frenchman is at risk and behind.
Yoviral, the people's champion, which in French means the people's mushroom.
I actually genuinely thought that one was good. Oh, that wasn't just a courtesy chuckle.
He is a fun guy.
Oh,
he deserves to win after all that.
He needs an ace.
For your consideration, Global Poker Awards.
Barry Greenstein required or Yoviral will be KO'd. The 3 is not enough. And we are down to 18 players in the PCA 2023 main event.
Good game, buddy. Nice bluff.
Johan Gilbert out in 19th place.
Well, that gets us closer to 16, doesn't it? By my calculations.
Dommage, ça s'est pas joué à grand chose et il y avait $1 million à la gagne. Voilà, j'ai pas réussi à coller contre Colonias. Il m'a 3 barrels bluff. Et dans un spot où je m'attendais pas à ce qu'il me bluffe. Souvent, on pense que les joueurs vont underbluffer sur les boards SI quand quand on a pas envie de folder un as en big blind et on a plein d'as pour coller. Donc du coup j'ai foldé, je m'attendais pas à ce qu'il me pense aussi capable de folder et pourtant c'est vrai que j'ai une image du joueur assez respectueux des adversaires et il a eu bien raison. Voilà, il faut savoir prendre à contre-pied et trouver le call dans ce moment-là. Je suis quand même très haut dans ma range et j'aurais pu call. En tout cas, pour progresser drastiquement, ce que vous pouvez faire, c'est utiliser les solvers pour voir ce que le solver aurait call dans cette situation et dans différentes situations et vous adapter ensuite à vos adversaires en vous basant sur une base GTO, Game Theory optimale. Et ça, Jonathan Pastore, le champion du monde de poker, nous l'explique dans cette nouvelle série de vidéos qui est juste exceptionnelle et qui commence par la vidéo 1. Après, vous verrez la 2, la 3. Il me semble que c'est 4 parties. Elles sont toutes offertes et elles sont toutes sur le YouTube de Poker Pro. Je vous mets la vidéo 1 ici ou dans la description. Allez la voir. C'est une série énorme. C'est sans doute la meilleure série stratégique jamais faite par un joueur de poker francophone sur YouTube. Enjoy.
Alors, je suis Alexis, j'ai 26 ans et ça va faire maintenant 8 ans que je joue au poker. J'ai gagné le Platinum Pass il y a 3 ans et du coup je me suis dit qu'il y avait un grand besoin de se former. et je me suis inscrit à Poker Pro, ce qui m'a permis de pas mal progresser sur mon jeu. Alors, ça fait 2 ans que je suis sur la formation Poker Pro. La formation, elle m'a permis de progresser notamment au niveau stratégique, définir mes ranges en fonction de mes bébés. Ça m'a permis également de mieux gérer mon stress et mieux gérer ma bankroll. Je souhaite passer ce message, tout le monde, formez-vous avec la formation Poker Pro. Ça va vous permettre de progresser, d'améliorer votre jeu et pourquoi pas atteindre des tournois comme le PSPC un jour. Jamais j'aurais pensé pouvoir arriver jusque-là et pouvoir rencontrer tous les pros.